There we go. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, and since I don't have a guest today, you know what happens on Friday when I don't have a guest. It becomes open mic Friday, and fortunately, not unfortunately, I actually enjoy open mic Friday. I like talking to you guys, but it's one of those days where, um, I would love to have more guests on Fridays. Sometimes it's hard to schedule some people, and the ones I try and it just ends up this way. So it gives me kind of an enjoyable way to talk to you guys, and it's actually kind of fun. So I dig it. Anyway, oh wow, my screen back here is really far behind. Hang on, my monitor. Got to get my monitor up to par here. So anyway, there's a whole lot to talk about, and I'm sure you have things that you want to hear about, and whether you come onto the show or whether you just throw something in the chat, we can talk about those things. I do have quite a list of items that I certainly could be. I have several articles open here, and a couple of weird ones, man, and one that hit really close to home that is very disturbing, and we'll get into that and whatever you all want to talk about after we play the intro. Johnny, please play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. All right, the music stops by itself on this particular platform. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I am your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet, and welcome back to the PDawgKnight Channel. I am so happy that you're here. It is Friday, open mic Friday. The weekend has come, and it's the 30th of July, 2021. Freedom Month is almost over, and I like to call it Freedom Month because I'm free. Oh, that was terrible. That was the wrong key. I'm free to do what I want any old time, unless I'm not vaccinated, it seems like, because we're getting some new vaccination guidance from the CDC and from the White House that is not making a lot of people happy. I'm very aware of that. In fact, it's not making me happy. I'm just thinking, what is up with you guys? Keep changing the rules, changing everything that's going on. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that this Delta variant seems to be okay, I don't have medical misinformation, but I keep hearing that there's issues with the new variation and the juice. You know what I'm talking about? The juice, the Fauci juice, the stab, the jab, the punch, there's so many different names for it now that so many different people call it different things just to hide it, because you can't talk about it on YouTube. If you say the word that similar to vagine, you get hit with those little tags that YouTube doesn't like you to get. Or no, they love to give me that shit, but I don't want to get it. So that's where we're going right now. Anyway, let's say good morning to everybody. By the way, the link to the oh no, it's not. Isn't it? Yeah, I do have it in the chat. I always forget how my chat looks when I do StreamYards, because it's not really it looks different. Anyway, it is if you want to jump in line to be on open mic Friday, if you got something you want to talk about, your favorite subject, or you just want to throw something in the chat, what you want to talk about, we'll talk about that. The link to the open mic line, though, is at the top of the chat. It also will show up there every once in a while via Stream Labs, and then also, let's see, it's also in the description down below. You can find it if you really want to come on. And by the way, if you do come on, you don't have to have a camera on or anything. You can leave your camera off if you don't like to be seen and you just want to talk. And if you just want to you know, if you just want to put something in the chat, I'll try to pay more attention to the chat when there's no one on the line. So it is Open Mic Friday. Tell me what you want to talk about. I'll fill space in between then. But before I do any of that, I must say good morning because that's what I do. So first in the chat today, let's see, let me scroll up here. First in the chat today was Gunfox61. Yes. Thank you, sir, for joining us on the show today and for your continued service to the PDawgKnight channel. We appreciate that. Also, good morning, Jonathan Peterson, Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadian, Renee Mayette's in the house, Mike Savage, Blarg, JB Melquist, nice to have you here early. How you doing? Aaron Meredith, Ctron, Infamous One, Broken Word, Renee. Oh, I said Renee Mayette, didn't I? Did I say Renee? I did say Renee Mayette. Yes, I did. Okay. Like, I don't want to miss anybody. Good morning, Jonas Pedersen, Random American, Select a Boy. Yeah, boy. Also, ZZA's in the house. Jonas Pedersen, I said MC's in the house. Nice to have you here, sir, even though you're only going to be here for a short time, it looks like. I saw Zombie Teddy is in the house. Is that everybody? I'm not. Is that everybody? I think it is. I hope I didn't miss. Oh, Aaron Meredith, did I say good morning to you? I hope I did. Did I miss you? I hope not. But I just realized that it's, Jonathan Peterson and Jonas Pedersen are in the house. That always gets me. Y'all laugh at me when I get them wrong, but, Oh, and James Colley's in the house. Anyway, so I hope y'all are having a good morning. I am Sunday. You're gonna be at Irate Prostate's the cream stream on Sunday. Gunfox is gonna be there. So check that out. If you guys follow Irate Prostate, that's always fun. I did that once about a year ago, and those are fun because you get to know people that are that you see their names and see them on different places. So that's always fun. So anyway. Again, it is open mic day. Let's start with why. Oh, hello, Jesse Leon. Nice to see you. Nice to have you here. So something happened in my neck of the woods that is rather disturbing. And I got to tell you, I was in a way, I was a little shook when I saw this news. Because it was just weird. I mean, you never think of things happening this close to home. And the way they described it, at least the local news, I don't know why it just seems, well, maybe I don't know if they're downplaying. Well, they're not necessarily downplaying, but it's just, you don't expect to see this. Look, this happened, let's see. Basically 2 suburbs away from me, in the Twin Cities area, and it's definitely concerning. Oh, let me get the right screen on here. If I just put this over here, I don't have to open another one of these. I never thought of that. Let's put that over here. Then I can see. No, I can't. All right, never mind. Hang on. I gotta rearrange my my windows a little bit here. I'm getting to it though, I promise. I just need this. I'm just making it so that if anyone does any donations to you, I can see them and so we can hear the music. So anyway, let me share this screen real quick because this shit's crazy. There we go. Move over there. Move out of my way. What the hell's going on here? So one of the problems is when I try to run StreamYards and Streamlabs at the same time, it gets a little hairy. But anyway, this is something that yesterday when I got home in the afternoon and we had to meet an appraiser here because we were doing some financial work on our home. I came home to this search warrant. Woman killed in Shakopee was beheaded and the suspect is in custody. We had a beheading in Minnesota. And now I know that when you hear the word beheading, you have an immediate visceral reaction with certain assumptions. But I'm not so certain that I'm assuming anything on this one as you think you would. By the way, Gunfox 61 and James Colley are in the queue. I will have you guys up in that order when I get to taking some of the open mic time here. So, police have identified a woman who was reportedly beheaded in Shakopee, Minnesota, Wednesday. A 55-year-old American, Mafalda Thayer, suspect is in custody in connection with her death. Around 2:30 p.m., officers responded to a report of a stabbing at the intersection of 4th Avenue and Spencer Street. When they arrived at the scene, officers saw a body without a head lying on the ground next to a car, according to a search warrant. The victim's head was lying next to the body. The victim, identified as Thayer, was pronounced dead at the scene. Oh, you think? Officers found what appeared to be a sheath for a large knife in a nearby yard. They found a knife in a trash can in the alley in the area. Officers quickly apprehended the 42-year-old man on suspicion of second-degree murder. Second degree? Don't you kind of have to? Well, maybe that's a preliminary finding. But I would think that if you took the time to remove somebody's melon, that would be, you'd have to kind of premeditate that, wouldn't you? That, I don't know what a second degree, maybe I just, Minnesota laws are kind of weird, but am I roboting? I don't know. It's possible. Oh, it's probably because I got this trying to open up this, I'm going to just turn this one off. I can do it without this. There, now that should help. Anyway, here's the other thing. Several people witnessed the attack, according to the search warrant. Witnessed? But wait, there's more. A co-worker said Thayer worked at the Dollar Tree in Shakopee as well as at My Pillow. That's because My Pillow is based in Shakopee, Minnesota. And they said the victim had been in a long-term relationship with the suspect and domestic abuse had been a consistent problem. Tell me if the roboting has stopped, by the way. Court records show the suspect was previously here. Let me shut this down. Maybe this will help too. Court records show the suspect was previously convicted of gross misdemeanor domestic assault. Fox 9 does not typically identify suspects until they are charged. Really? They don't? Interesting. I never heard that before. So then there's another article. This is from CBS Minnesota. I think this one of these. The Shakopee police did identify the suspect. Anyway, again, so this is another local channel. Now I've seen some national outlets pick up on this too, but I'm going to show you the local versions first, right? Arrest been made after a woman was found beheaded on a Shakopee sidewalk Wednesday afternoon, according to the Shakopee Police Department. The incident occurred around 2:30, blah, blah, blah. The 55-year-old woman identified as America Mafalda Thayer of Shakopee was found on the sidewalk in the intersection and was pronounced dead at the scene. Yes, because her head was removed from her body. Police later confirmed the woman was beheaded in the incident. Now, and this basically says the same thing, and they also... Now, they said that the headline of the article here, 42-year-old man arrested. Victim ID'd. Police say incident wasn't, the police say the incident wasn't a random act. Yeah, they they assured us that the public was not in danger over this. Well, probably because they apprehended him too, but also they did not name the suspect. Okay. And it says WCCO does not typically name people arrested until they are formally charged with a crime. I thought didn't they arrest him on second degree murder? I thought anyway, so then the Shakopee Police Department or City of Shakopee press release, July 28 homicide, under investigation. This was because I saw this yesterday because it happened actually Wednesday afternoon. On July 28th, probably 2:31 p.m., Shaq Police Department responded to a report of a stabbing incident at the intersection of 4th Avenue and Spencer Street. Blah, blah, blah. They found the woman. Officers quickly apprehended 42-year-old Alexis Sabarit of Shakopee on suspicion of second-degree murder. Now, headline. Hey! I see what you did there, Jesse Leon. So now here's the other part, though. So there were people who witnessed this. Now here's now apparently he's been charged because the New York Post now has this story. 55-year-old woman was allegedly beheaded. Blah 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 blah. The decapitated body of American Mafalda Thayer was discovered lying on the ground next to a car by cops who responded to a stabbing in Shakopee, Minnesota, according to KMSP. That's Channel 5. So I've got 3 different stations already on this that have reported this. Officers recovered a large knife, Thayer's boyfriend, 42-year-old Alexis Sabarit, was taken into custody and charged with second-degree murder. Second-degree murder. So he was charged. Thayer worked at the dollar store, My Pillow. And now, some, like, for example, Newsmax made a headline, My Pillow employee this happened to, but it had nothing to do with My Pillow. But Sabarit has previously been convicted of gross misdemeanor domestic assault, the station said. Friends remembered Thayer, a Cuban immigrant, as hardworking, kind, and warm. Well, she was warm and the police still got there. Nikki Kendrick knew the victim for 5 years and said she used to visit her every day at work, the outlet reported. She was soft-spoken, so funny, always had amazing stories, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so here's the thing, though. Here's the, you know the thing. Where is that?
You know the thing.
Not only were there witnesses, but apparently there was also video on the internet of this happening, and I don't see it around here. It doesn't say anything in these articles. I know the Newsmax article said that there was video of this incident floating around on the internet, and I'm thinking to myself, the witnesses saw this happen. Somebody took video of this happening. Did anybody think to stop that from happening? And I know the guy has a knife. Someone pulls out a camera and takes video of this happening. Now, was the video taken by friends of his? they had a grudge with her too, or you know what? If I see something like that, whether the guy has a knife or not, I don't think it's my business. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna pick up a rock, grab a tire iron out of my truck, find a bat, I'm something. Chase the guy down. I just don't understand it. Yell at him. This is, and they're saying that, okay, so there wasn't any the public was not in danger because they apprehended the guy, and it was not a random act. But still, this Jews. Okay, so I live maybe less than 10 miles from where this happened. I'm just dumbfounded at a beheading in Minnesota. Maybe it's just me. And I don't know, I don't really care the nature of his name or anything like that. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Yeah, I know. What would you do? That's a good question, Uncle Bad Touch. By the way, hello, Uncle Bad Touch.
Come on, man.
Nice to see you. And who else? Anyone else come in while I was talking, ranting there? Yeah, oh boy, what would you do? That's the best question. So what would you do? Put it in the chat. Thanks for asking that question, Uncle Bad Touch. This is why LTC is your best accessory. Yeah, I don't know. Bring a shotgun, rear naked choke all day, every day. Yeah, what would you do? That's a good question. Anyway, so that's my top story today. Now there are a couple others. There's a I'm going to bring a gun fox here in a second, but there's a guest editorial in the New York Times from 2 days ago that I did not see until last night. And I'm just going to read you I'm only going to read you the headline, and then I'm going to bring on Gun Fox, because I just want you to contemplate this headline too. There is no reason you should have to be a citizen to vote. And like I said, we're not going to go through this article right now because I got guests waiting to tell me what they want to talk about. But, what's going on here? Oh, here we go. I just want you to see it. This is real. This is real. There's no reason you should have to be a citizen to vote. An editorial in the New York Times. And there's a whole, apparently this is a series of articles they're going to have in the New York Times. I find that hilarious. Oh my gosh, yes, I'd bring a shotgun at all times. This is why people should be armed at all times. What would you? I'd pull my sidearm. What would you do after shitting myself? Yeah, I'm telling you, that's some crazy stuff. Anyway, good morning, Hig. How you doing? All right, let's let the games begin. Let's start having guests because I want to make sure I get everyone in here, and as people roll in and out, I want to make sure I get you on. So Gun Fox, you're coming on next. James Colley's on deck, and Jonathan Peterson's in the hole, if you are familiar with baseball terminology. Let's first say good morning to our good friend and Discord administrator extraordinaire, Gun Fox 61. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me just fine?
I hear you just fine. No roboting, nothing like that of a sort. So we're looking good.
All right. You want some? You don't mind if I play audio, do you?
Not at all. As long as it's you know how well. I trust you, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Roll 3B. This is from NTD about China. It's about a minute and 30 seconds on funeral homes suspending services.
Starting Wednesday in China, Nanjing City's funeral homes are suspending all services. Yeah. A notice says cremated ashes will be temporarily stored in funeral homes and can be buried when services resume, but it didn't give a date for the reopening. As of Wednesday, the eastern Chinese city has reported more than 150 confirmed cases of the CCP virus known as COVID-19. Deputy Director of the city's Center for Disease Control and Prevention commented on the situation Tuesday, explaining that many of the new cases were caused by the Delta variant of the virus. The new strain is more transmissible, spreads faster, and often leads to more severe symptoms. NTD cannot independently verify the city's pandemic data. That's due to Beijing's tight control over what information is released and its history of underreporting virus cases. All residents in Nanjing are now required to take a fourth round of virus testing. At the same time, authorities have shut down cinemas, gyms, and fitness studios, swimming pools, and bars, among other venues. Large-scale gatherings are also prohibited. A Chinese state-run media outlet interviewed a person familiar with the matter for details. They asked to remain anonymous. They say Nanjing is now under de facto lockdown and added that the source of infections in the area, Lukou Airport, was closed Monday, but not before cases started to spread. starting Wednesday in China.
So, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, it sounds to me like if they're suspending funeral services, that tells me that they're having a much larger problem than they are telling anybody. How about that? Does that sound about right to you?
Now, for that, what would I do for that headless thing?
Rather than watching it?
Yeah. There's an old saying, 3 to the head, 4 to the chest, just to make sure.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the part of that article that was the part of the article that made me the most crazy, that there were witnesses that the witnesses said what happened, one, and that there's video on the internet of that incident. I don't get it.
Also, here's another one.
Okay.
This is out of Texas. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is threatening to fine local officials and businesses that enforce mask mandates up to $1,000 in executive order issued Thursday. The new order relates Abbott's opposition to mask mandates while extending previous issued orders which penalize local officials and others for enforcing various COVID-19 safety protocols. The governor said the new order would provide clarity and uniformity in the Lone Star State continue to fight against COVID-19.
So now that's interesting because as everyone is finding out that the CDC has given out new guidelines that is recommending in some areas, it doesn't say everywhere, but in some areas that they want people to require people to wear masks indoors. But they didn't necessarily they didn't like make it a requirement, right? And so they didn't really define what those areas are. But just you got him, Abbott saying that they're not going to require, they're going to actually, it's kind of almost like anti-requirements, right?
Yep.
There, and also a lot of unions are fighting back. Even the teachers, the American Federation of Teachers, says that they're going to refuse a vaccination requirement. Leaders of SEIU opposes Newsom's deadline to verify vaccinations. A lot of it's not just the right-wing nut jobs and black people. A lot of postal workers union, it's not the full role of the federal government to vaccinate, to mandate vaccinations. Everyone's fighting back on this, and especially the mask thing. If the mask, if the masks work, and I'm endangering myself with this disinformation thing that YouTube likes to do. Well, we've had masks during the worst part of the pandemic. I'm just saying.
Do you want me to tell you what will actually block COVID-19? And it's not a mask. It's called a respirator. It has 2 charcoal packs where you breathe through.
Right.
And it is actually designated that you could actually walk into a mustard gas cloud and breathe fine. Mm-hmm. And you won't get anything in it. That is the only thing, as well as a face shield, that would actually stop COVID-19. And by the way, the face shield is a face mask that sucks fast to your skin.
Oh, right.
Much like a firefighter's mask or a NBC warfare mask that the U.S. Army runs.
Yeah, but can you imagine? Yeah, if it's gonna look like a post-nuclear dystopia if everyone's running around in a respirator mask. You know what I mean?
Now, here's another breaking thing. U.S. bill bans maps from showing Taiwan as part of China. I'll link this in the video section. I'll link it afterwards in the video section in Discord for people to watch. I'm not going to play it live on yours because I think YouTube would geet that very quickly.
Cause me problems, sure.
Yes. Despite also, here's another headline: 35,000 Americans getting symptomatic COVID-19 a week, despite being vaccinated. And that is from the CDC.
Right. Well, there's a leak. Right. There's a leaked CDC document right now saying that the variant is so contagious it spread among vaccinated people. There was a July 4th outbreak in Provincetown, Massachusetts, according to a genetic analysis. That document was leaked. It's an internal CDC document. So apparently this Delta variant is, I'm not going to say it's immune from the vaccine, but it's
more infectious.
Yeah.
But if you actually look at it, it is less deadly. It is the flu.
Hang on. I'm going to throw in the word allegedly. Just to be safe with the tube of the U. But yeah, no, I have a couple articles even though I'm not going through some of my articles that I pulled up for today, I'll put them in the link. And also, by the way, I'm going to anyone listening, if you are on the Discord or would like to join the Discord, go into the news section, because all these articles that Gunfox puts up, and there's a couple other people who put articles in there, they're all there. You can check them out there.
Yep. Now, there are some news articles that I will put in the not safe for work category, and there are some in there. But videos I'll put in the video section.
Okay, outstanding.
But the Delta variant, as per the CDC, you have a 99.89% chance of making it. 99.89% chance of getting through it without any problems.
On those odds, that's general odds, and basically anyone under 50, that those odds apply or are better. It really starts to go up after 60 years of age, and you know, because the mean I think is somewhere like 66, and as far as deaths from COVID, and then it really goes up. It's funny, it goes up the closer you are to the your life expectancy average, you know. So people in their 70s, 80s, 90s, well, yeah, they're more likely to die from it. Almost it's kind of funny. It kind of matches life expectancy, unless, although they say then obesity is another factor, and other respiratory frailties are also one of those things that can that you have to be very wary of. So, well,
there are other mitigating factors, but those factors also lead to pneumonia. I can't say that.
Pneumonia.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
From flu, which is in the corona line of genes, as far as viruses. So that's why earlier, all that testing, well, where's the flu? Well, the flu was still there. Everything was just being classified as COVID-19. And that is from Dr. Fauci himself saying that. So, Susan, look it up.
Susan, give me a break. All right.
Yeah.
Man.
Let me just quick run through these headlines. Pentagon to start.
Real quick. And these are headlines that'll be on Discord real quick, yes. And then we'll move on.
Pentagon to start talks on mandatory COVID-19 vaccine for all military personnel.
Military people are fighting that.
Yes. Israel to start COVID booster shots on Sunday. Pfizer up 2021 revenue expectations from 26 billion to 33.5 billion.
Yeah, I reread that one yesterday. Yeah. Oh, imagine their oh my gosh, their projections on their COVID profits are up. Shocker. I'm sorry, go on.
And let's see. Let me get one more here.
One more, and then we're gonna move on.
Yep. So, and then U.S. swimmer talks doping at Olympics after loss to Russia.
Oh yeah, that's and then now the Russians are kind of mocking him for that. It'll be interesting. You know, that's always been an issue in the Olympics, and they found creative ways to increase performance using different doping methods and oxygen boosting methods and things like that. And you know what? I guess if they test them after events, they will find out. But anyway,
one more thing real quick. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, this happened a couple days ago. ZZ Top's baseless, Bassist, Dusty Hills dies in his sleep at 72. God rest his soul. He was a very good guitar player. So
legendary band, the band ZZ Top had a lot of hits in the 80s, but they were cranking out tunes in the 70s, 80s, into the 90s, and kind of if you're not familiar with ZZ Top, what's a good way to describe them? Kind of I'd say down home rock, Texas style blues rock, really good band. And rest in peace, Dusty Hill. All right. So
I have a bunch that will be linked in the news articles. Maybe you may want to pick up one or two.
Okay, I will. I do. I mean, we duplicate a lot, so a lot of times I'll do articles where they're the same topic, but maybe from different sources, things like that. But yeah, no, I do, and everyone, like I said, if you a great news source as far as this show's concerned is the Discord server. Gunfox is prolific. There's a couple other people put news stories in there. You will definitely be able to keep up on the world if you follow them. So, all right, man. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Have a fantastic week. You got a track this weekend?
No, I'm staying home this weekend because I'm gonna be working with because of that irate live stream, stream. So
yeah, check out irate prostate. That's spelled just how it sounds. On Sunday, Gunfox will be a guest on his show on Sunday,
5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Outstanding. All right, man.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Thanks, Gunfox61. Next on the stream, I have Mr. James Colley. Jonathan Peterson is on deck, and my friend Scribe Light is in the hole. We'll try to make this go very quickly. Also, if you want to join the stream today, it is, I believe I have it bookmarked at the top, plus it shows up in the chat. In fact, it's right there in the chat right now. It's open mic day. Here's the link if you want to get in line. Remember to add your name and turn on your mic before entering the studio, and we'll get you on as quickly as you can. Next up is Mr. James Colley. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you today?
Oh, I'm pretty good. How are you, sir?
I am fantastic. Nice to hear your voice. What's going on? What's your topic of the day, sir?
Well, something that you're one of the people you got on deck, you and I all share.
Okay.
Lords of the Knot.
Oh, okay. Good.
It's ending.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. See, my schedule is, I haven't even been able to listen on at the normal times. I catch every once in a while. It is. That's not good.
No, but I mean, I can understand why. And you know, all good things must come to an end. But that's where you started and got a following.
Yep.
I've been in there for years, since late, I want to say 2016, 2017, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I've that's how long I've been there too. I mean,
Yeah.
when they started on with I wasn't there in the first few shows, but I know I was one of the early people. That's where I gotten the idea of even starting to stream.
I mean, it's a shame that it's ending, but at the same time, I can understand why. If you think about movies and TV shows that have come and gone,
right?
And it's got to end at some point.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of my my version of YouTube Friends. It's like it's and the people you've met through the chat, and also just being able to be on the show, and it's like I said, it was the thing that kind of inspired me to do this. Obviously at a different time of the day, but after a while, I'm like, oh, I had so much fun going on their show that I'm like, oh, I want to do this too. So, well, that's a bummer.
Yeah, that was the first thing that I had. And I just want to take the time, and since I was there pretty much in the beginning,
right,
following and listening, and hell, we shared the birth of Satsu's daughter.
Right.
Some of it is just a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, I mean,
good moments.
That's how I found out about Teresa's book. That's found out,
my history with that one. I'll leave her out of it.
Oh no, well no, I know, but I just they're still fam to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know not everything. There were different things that happened, but yeah, no. There's in watching. Because I was listening to Scribe before Lords of the Night. I was listening to Monkey before Lords of the Night. I had Sats. I was subscribed to all three of those guys before they started doing that. There's a lot of people that I've met through there and end up watching their stuff because of those guys. And so yeah, it is sad, but I know it's things change and things move. People move on. For things. So yeah.
See, I was listening to Monkey and going through his back catalog because I came across this video at random about them. Yeah. And the funny thing about it is that's how I just come on or started following the stream. And then it became, hey, this is something to do every night of the week, and I'm not bored anymore.
Right.
In the beginning, when it was every day.
Right.
And then they cut it back. And yeah, I mean, it was great. But that was one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, because I'm sure softens and blow, I guess, a little bit. I didn't know Scribe was in here. I apologize if I stole anything from him.
Oh no! You guys can't see each other in the green room.
No.
Oh, okay. I've always wondered if people can see each other. I never knew that or not.
Well, I can't because I use my phone.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So, but anywho, I apologize if I stepped on his toes at all. Yeah, there was something else I was going to say. I can't remember what it was, but going back to your beheading story.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the first thought was, yeah, that's a Middle Eastern thing. And then when you play through, I'm going, no, that wasn't. And why is there video?
That's what I don't get. How can you have video of something like that? Unless it's something premeditated.
And honestly, I can understand in the beginning. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
I mean, in the beginning, with the police charging him with second degree, okay, great. You got something on paper to get him in. But once you find out that everything was, you've got him charged, why hasn't the DA upped it to first degree? Because there was intent.
Yeah. My guess, this only happened 2 days ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking the reason you haven't heard that yet is because it hasn't been through the process. But I gotta imagine within the process of this, that charge will be changed to first degree murder. I mean, I have very little doubt of that. So that, I think maybe the initial second degree, I don't know, crime of passion or something. I don't even know what that means, but I got a feeling that will be changed. I'm sure there'll be more than one charge too. But it's just a gruesome thing to happen so close to where I live, you know.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's just weird.
There's strange people out there. Trust me, I'm one of them. But I'm not that weird. I'm just weird.
Wait, don't say that.
Yeah. I mean, there's weird and then there's holy hell.
Oh, yeah, I'm saying. So anyway. Well,
that's pretty much all I had. And, you know, I just want to take the time and say thank you, Scribe. Thank you, Ranting Monkey. Satsu 2 cents.
Yeah.
And thank you, SDA, for the content y'all provided with Lords of the Night.
Most definitely. All right.
And thank you for the memories.
Yeah, no doubt.
Y'all will be missed. And I'm going to go ahead and step on out now.
All right, man. Well, thank you for jumping in. I appreciate you, and you have a good weekend.
You too, sir, and enjoy yours.
Yeah, thanks. This is another weekend where I'm not doing anything. We canceled our trip to Chicago. So, well, I'll talk about this in a second. But yeah, because now we're just going to watch the smoke from the Canadian fires roam over our neighborhood. Anyway, so all right, man. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right. Thank you, James Cowley, for jumping in. And now we're going to have next, Jonathan Peterson is up next. Scribe Light is on deck. And no one's in line behind Scribe. If you want to jump into the show today and talk about whatever you want to talk about, it is Open Mic Friday. Whether you got news, whether you got things you want, little things you want to talk about. I do want to, before I bring in Jonathan Peterson. Yeah, so I'm getting into my neighborhood last night as I came home from work, and I'm meeting an appraiser at my house, and let them in the house. And about 3 p.m, I walk out my front door of my house, and I look at the neighborhood, and there's just really light smoke everywhere, like everywhere. And I look down the street to the left. There's like haze of smoke. And I look up the street to the right, and there's this haze of smoke, and I look up kind of toward the sun, and the sun's this orange ball in the sky, by smoke. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Is there a fire in my neighborhood or something? Is there something going on? And I see my neighbor walking her dog, and I go, am I just seeing things, or is there a weird haze over everything? She goes, oh yeah, I hear that's smoke from some Canadian wildfires. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then my wife calls me. She's like 5 miles to the south of us at work. She calls me. She goes, why is there smoke everywhere? And I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, and like, oh yeah, you see it? I see it too. And apparently that smoke is going all the way across the northern states, almost to the East Coast, I think. I know that people have seen it in Michigan and a lot of over the Great Lakes regions and stuff. So that kind of crazy. Anyway, all right, let's bring in Jonathan Peterson. Good morning, Jonathan Peterson. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I am fantastic. Thank you. I have my cup of coffee, obviously, so that always helps. But
I had mine earlier.
Definitely. So what's going on, sir?
This is actually the first time I'm on YouTube voice.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, that's cool. I feel honored that you chose to do it on my show.
One of the things I was going to talk about was talked about by James Cawley about Lords of the Night.
Oh, right.
Okay. What do you think of how New York is changing their attitude towards guns? How they're saying now that it's the criminals and the gangs that are the problem, not specifically the guns.
You know, I tell me a little more about the story you're talking about, because I haven't necessarily caught up with that yet.
I can't remember if it was the governor or the mayor. They were saying how they were in a press conference saying how the guns are a problem, but it's more specifically a gang issue and a criminal issue. It's like, no, duh.
You know, it's funny about that, because I obviously that's something that we say all the time, that, you know, people are talking about, you know, outlawing certain types of weapons and this and that, and the gun problem and gun violence and this and that. But I always say, well, when was the last time an NRA member or you know, GOA member or any of those other people who are in gun rights organizations, how often has it been the lawful gun owners that you have been the major problem? And so, yeah, I mean, it's about time they're starting to say it. Now, in what you're hearing, are they proposing anything new? What when they're making these statements, how is that in reference to gun laws?
I think they're trying to balance out, because they've realized that it's not a winning issue, and their poll numbers are showing them that it's really not sinking in right now. They haven't proposed any new gun laws that I know of, but it's just more campaign type speech.
Okay.
Probably because of 2022 coming up.
That's interesting. I'm trying to hear. Oh, now there's a New York gun violence health emergency. That's weird. Because remember, they were trying to, or Governor Cuomo was trying to, you know, he's trying to make a gun violence emergency, kind of like with the health emergency with COVID, and
yeah,
which would give him, in theory, give him powers to do some kind of executive action on guns. But that was, let's see, New York governor declares gun violence a health, but yeah, declaring it a health emergency. So are the people who are saying this, are they related to the governor's office, or are they other politicians in New York?
I think it was the mayor, but I'm not sure exactly. It was in one of the newspapers that one of the gun lobbies that I follow on YouTube was saying how, look at this, they're changing their attitude probably for 2022.
Okay.
And there is a definite split in how some Democrats are arguing for stronger, and some are like, hey, wait, we're losing people. This is not a good idea.
Right. I mean, I see, let's see, Chicago, New York among cities getting a federal strike force to reduce gun violence. That's from 8 days ago. Bail reform isn't to blame for gun violence. That's from the New York Daily News. Now, of course, they don't believe that. It's good that someone is actually recognizing that that kind of crime is not happening from law-abiding citizens. It's not like they're
Also, something I saw on Monkey in the Morning last night was that China is coming out and saying they're preparing in case we do something with Taiwan and Australia and stuff.
Oh yeah.
They're saying they're preparing just in case we're aggressive.
Right. Well, also the other part, notice how China is also getting involved in Afghanistan. It seems China's now having talks with the Taliban. And it's weird because our Secretary of State is saying that that's a good thing or positive. I don't know, but
and China and Russia are going to do exercises for Western aggression.
Oh, right. Right. It would seem to me that any Western aggression from Joseph R. Biden, do you think that would be a Joe Biden idea?
Do you think he has any ideas at this point?
Yes, that's exactly my point. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's elder abuse. He was forced to run by his wife and the Democratic Party. I think it was elder abuse that he was forced to run.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying. I don't know that somehow the party manipulated things that got him there because they believed he was the only one who could beat Trump. And without making any assertions about the anything having to do with the election, let's just say that I was very surprised and amazed that it happened in the end.
Yeah.
The way it did.
I won't make any I don't think anything was majorly widespread. But also the fact that they hid everything that was wrong. They hid the fact that he was forced out of the 88 election for lying, and it's like they hid all his warts, as it were.
Well, yeah, isn't it weird that never really came up in any debates and any news stories? I mean, that alone, you never heard about any of his prior runs.
So in my opinion, it didn't have to have any malfeasance. It was I could readily believe that it happened that way. Sure. Because everybody was going on incomplete or false information.
Well, when you don't campaign, that would definitely be incomplete information. Anyway, all right. Any last word? Let me ask you one last question real quick. What do you got planned for the weekend? Anything fun?
Well, I plan to go fishing later today, and I have a family picnic something tomorrow at my dad's place. So yeah.
Nice. What kind of fishing do you do?
I fish off the docks.
Oh, okay.
Into Lake Erie.
Oh, okay. So you're getting what do you get out of Lake Erie? Panfish, things like that, or what do you?
Perch, bass, panfish.
Okay.
You can get walleye if you go out on a boat, but they don't. and you can get pike sometimes.
Yeah, I know on the boat you can. I was curious what you get off the docks, but yeah,
mostly panfish, bass, and I saw a couple people get pike last time I was down.
All right. Very nice. All right. Well, I hope you have a good luck fishing and have a great weekend, man.
You too.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Oh, all right. Hang on a second here. So Scribe's coming up next real quick. Let me do this. The first sponsor of the day, and it's Baby Vazo.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day.
Thank you very much, sir. With the $4.99 through Streamlabs. By the way, if you want to sponsor the show, YouTube SuperChats and Streamlabs are open, and the other stuff is in the description if you want to do it some other way. I appreciate everyone who sponsors the show. Baby Vazo with the $4.99 says, I've heard that with Bill de Blasio calling for vagine mandates, we perhaps have a one-in-a-lifetime chance to finally stand up and tell the government to shove it up their hind parts. Yes, I did some editorial editing there. This could be a historical win, or if we cave in, a historical loss. I feel you there. I think that's a strong possibility. And thank you, Baby Vazo, for sponsoring the show. If you would like to join in the stream today, the link's in the top of I think it's in the top of the chat still, but it's also in the description down below, or it pops up in the chat every once in a while. Also, if you haven't joined our Discord server, the link's in the chat. You can scroll up. There's all kinds of information that pops up every once in a while. And right now, let's see. The other thing is, you are the sponsor of the show. Please share this stream. That's the biggest thing you can do for me right now. Also, and thank you, by the way, for Scribe Light. And somebody else did that already. Let me go into my notifications real quick. Okay, come on. Everything goes slower when I have two of these open. Oh my God. See, computer problems. Renee Mayette, Scribe Light, Will It Forge, and MC all shared the show out already. Thank you for doing that. All right, next up is our good friend from Lords of the Night, Mr. Scribe Light. Good morning, sir. How are you? I know this is early for you, so I really appreciate it when you come on in the morning.
Oh, that's fine. How are you doing, P-Dawg?
I'm very good. What's happening, sir?
Well, you already, I guess, you just heard the news, I guess. Yeah.
I just heard it. Yeah, I didn't see the show from last night. Did you guys announce that last night?
Yeah, so we were going to do it tomorrow night, sort of as a month-end kind of thing, but Satsu has family stuff tonight, so he's not going to make the show, so we did it last night.
Yeah.
And, we'll be going over this multiple times over the next couple of weeks, but the short version is that after Monkey left, Sats and I told ourselves, so let's just see how this goes and check in with ourselves from time to time, see how we're doing with it.
Yeah.
And nothing. There was no event. Nothing happened that suddenly, quote unquote, triggered this or anything. It was just sort of we were chatting a few days ago and just kind of both arrived at the same conclusion that time for a change, basically. As we're effectively coming up on 4.5 years, if not already. I think either last month or this month makes it 4.5 years, and that's, like I said, that's longer than most of my personal relationships outside of my family, as far as doing anything in particular.
Right.
And going from 7 nights a week for 2 years, and then 6 nights a week for 1.5 years or whatever, and then now to 5 nights, it's just kind of become. It's a very reflective moment because, especially just in the last 8 hours or so, you don't really have a concept of how many people feel that they've been affected by what you've been doing. Just sort of what started as a goof 4 years ago, and so listening to Gunfox talk, and then James Colley, and then Jonathan just a second ago. And you and so many other people that have messaged me either directly or privately. I'm just boggled. It's like I say, you don't know what you've got until it's gone, kind of thing. Yeah. And a lot of people, I feel bad because a lot of people are treating this as almost like a death in the family or something. And And I can kind of understand that. I mean, Satsu and I aren't, we're not going anywhere per se, it's just, and I'm still going to be doing YouTube stuff, but yeah, no, it has of its own way become an institution for a lot of people. And, as many of the same people as we see night after night after night, it has become part of their lives, just as much as it's become a part of my life over the last 4 years. So I'm, it's bittersweet. Like I said last night with Satsu, it's one of those things, the rule when visiting family or friends, leave while they still want you to stay. Right. And it just seemed like I wanted to, or at least for myself, I can't speak for Satsu, but I wanted to sort of call it out before I felt like it was an obligation rather than a pleasure to do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And so, yeah, August 24th will be the last episode. That'll be Satsu's daughter's second birthday. So we're going to make it a big celebration for that too. And also sort of not exactly on, an anniversary or anything, but I said this on one of the streams not too long ago, kind of stole the thunder out of a lot of people where it's like, what's the greatest moment on Lords of the Night? It's like, I think the 16-hour telethon Monkey did on the night that Aaliyah was being born, taking over for Satsu while he left the stream running and forgot to turn it off. Right. And him just, it effectively turned into a baby shower, and everybody... Yeah,
was amazing.
It was. I mean, it was so crazy too, because the show started, and I know it's on recording. You can go watch it yourself, but this is just my memory, so if I'm a little off, pardon me. But as the show started, it was either Monkey or I started making jokes about, wouldn't it be funny if Squishy's water broke on the air? Mm-hmm. And then, like, within a very brief amount of time, suddenly it's like, uh-oh. And we, Monkey and I were fighting with Satsu, like, take her to the hospital. He's like, nah, it'll be fine. Everything's fine. No, go to, and like Monkey, who's been through like at least 2 or 3 births by himself. He's like, take her to the hospital. And then he just bolts out. And then we're sitting there going like, oh, wait, we're still alive. And he's in the hospital and like, oh, okay. So we did the show. And then, and I went out as long as I could, but I had work in the morning. I had to go to bed. And I'm like, okay, so I went to bed and I got up in the morning. I was sure the thing had to be done. Yep. And so it wasn't until I got to the office that morning that I was able to log back in and see that he was still going. I was like, oh no. And I could hear his voice. He was so tired, Monkey. And I was like, oh no. And so I rushed to get my work done so I'd get back home and take over for him, give him a break. But literally, as I got home and turned on the computer and got on, he was just wrapping up because apparently Satsu had gotten in touch and was going to turn it off. I was like, damn it. But over those 16 hours, Monkey holding that show and holding the fort down raised like almost $5,000 for Aaliyah and Satsu and Squishy. And it was just crazy. And just that if I didn't need any evidence prior to that whole event and just, the reverberations after that just shows what a crazily, and not in a bad way, unified and loyal community has built up around this show and just us bitching about the news every night. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, Don, Monkey put out a couple of thoughts on Twitter earlier this morning when he found out. And like I say, I know it's changed my life. That one little one-off stream I did with Monkey that day, I had no idea it turned into this years-long institution of its own. And all like you, Minions of the Zoo, Frosted Glass's Corner Show, Quippers United, all these people telling us about all these things they decided to do or were inspired to do as a result of just hearing us or being on the show or whatever else. And so in the last month here, what I'm hoping to do is sort of, at least as I can, as much as possible, sort of continue to sort of pay that forward. And so what I thought I'd do is that a couple of nights out of the month, maybe do third chair auditions. So like if we're auditioning someone for that third spot where Monkey used to be, have somebody on for, half of the show. Like let's do news and emphasis news this person, then the latter part we'll do YouTube time and everything, and sort of if nothing else, give somebody a chance to just get on the air for once, or hopefully maybe inspire people to do other things. Last night the big joke was, hey, Kiever Dam and Mashishu, and we should all get together and do Ladies of the Night. And I'm like,
awesome.
I'm like, yeah, that's a great title actually, because you have so much fun with just Women of the Night or something. And but I wanted to well, congratulate you. I mean, I was on here for your what was your 500th episode?
Yep.
Yeah, 500th episode, and I just I know that I don't want this to sound condescending or something, but everybody who has gone to the effort of putting on a show or doing their own thing, I'm proud of you. If that makes, I don't have another way of putting it.
Listen, that's not condescending at all.
Yeah,
I'm proud to when people say, "Oh yeah, he was an offshoot of Lords of the Night." I'm like, yeah, that's cool, because that was something, because it was probably 2 years in it before I even said, you know what, I could probably try this, or even thought of going on the show, and if someone says, oh, it's an offshoot of Lord of the Night, that's like being an offshoot of my favorite sitcom, and that's kind of how I feel, when something goes away, and I feel bad because I haven't been able to watch it live as much as I used to. My schedule change, and but it's and part of the schedule change is the fact that I do this in the morning. Normally I used to nap during this show, and I could stay up later at night, but no, it's for me, it's like the end of your favorite show from that's been on forever. And as far as a live show on YouTube lasting this long, that's pretty amazing. There's not a whole lot that lasts that long.
Yeah, and Will It Forge in the chat to subscribe, you got my streaming started. Well, again, and when I say that to P-Dawg or anybody else, it's not, I don't want to be taken as I'm taking credit or something. It's just that to see, because when I started this, it was on a lark. Irate Bear was putting out a call. Anybody want to come on a live stream with me? And I'd never been on YouTube before. I'd been watching live streams for years at that point with Internet Aristocrat and Sargon of Akkad and all these other guys. And so it was really novel. When I went on there, and I've always told this story, it's like after about an hour talking with Alex, I was just kind of like, well, if this idiot can do it, I can do it. And so so when I see people doing this, deciding to take the leap and start their own thing, it's very, and especially, like I say, when they come back and say, hey, I watched you guys and I decided to try this, or you had me on the show once, and I don't know how else to put it. It's a sort of a matter, a point of pride that, but pride not necessarily for myself so much, but that people are willing to take the dive and do this for themselves or for their audiences and the people that get inspired by them. And it's just been a real pleasure to hear that stuff. And so everybody, and trust me, and I said it last night too, as I did a couple of thank yous and shout outs and things. There's so many of you. And if, there's no thought in my mind to leave anybody out or forget anybody, but so many of you guys have told me or told us this story that it's hard to keep track sometimes.
Right. No, and there's, in fact, Midnight in Exile, same thing, played a large part in his streaming.
Yeah.
There's I know there's several who've even just to try it because you're inspired by another show is a big deal.
Yeah. And the one thing I want to real quick underscore is first I want to assure, because there were some questions, that none of this decision was fueled by any kind of drama. There's nothing behind the scenes or bad blood or anything like that. In fact, again, I underlined this last night, I close out almost all of my shows by saying to the moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though everyone here is so well behaved, you have very little to do.
Right.
That's a reflection of the fact that of all the things that I'm proud of, whether it's Lords of the Night or my channel or in general, is that there is such a sense of community and friendship and welcoming to everybody on the show. And, it is, I can't say it's been 100% never had a problem, but the times where there was actually any kind of quote unquote drama or tension on the show between either hosts or audience in any way, shape, or form are so minute in number that I can think of the specific instances, and they barely take up the fingers on my one hand, But yeah, that's something else that I just want to thank everybody for, because it's not just us, but it's you guys that have built up this little community home of its own, this little cheers bar in the chat every night where everybody knows your name. And when somebody's got a problem or if somebody's had a great day, everybody's there to congratulate or sympathize or help or donate or whatever.
Right.
And
Well, I was gonna say, because in your chat, it's every day is almost like old home week too. It's like
exactly.
Chats with each other and talk about what's going on with them, and then they obviously go into the topics, but it's also coming in and saying, "Oh, hey fam, what's going on? Let's what do we do today?" It's just
the other night, like hadn't seen her in a while on the chat. I've talked to her privately otherwise, but Jenna P showed up in the chat and was like, "Hey Jenna, where you been? What's going on?" Or like people ask like, "What happened to this person? Haven't seen him for a while." Like when Diesel Dave. When Diesel Dave disappeared for the longest time because of family stuff and whatever, everybody's like, I hope Dave's okay. I really hope Dave's okay. And we just, didn't hear from him. There's no way to contact. And then one day he just shows up and we're like, hey, Dave, what's going on? Everything. And it just reminded me just how much, just how much of a little family that's been built up around this. And, part of me feels guilty. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or make them feel like they're going to be lonely now because we're not there every night and that kind of thing. So I'm really hoping that as a result of this next month or so, it'll inspire people to start their own outlets, to find new homes for their attention and for their enthusiasm with some of the other viewers that decide to start their own things, or the existing shows like Minions of the Zoo and Quippers or Your Show, because obviously this is very important to a lot of people, and I know both I and Satsu and of course Monkey appreciate that a lot, right. But at the same time, it's like I need to try something new. For this is speaking for me personally, it can get a little mentally rut, and 4.5 years, most of the week, every night, marinating in the news of the day, and everything else is kind of like the thing that I miss is doing scripted stuff. I miss, even though it is a absolute bear of a process sometimes to record my own voice, have to listen to myself over and over again and edit and all. And TED Excellence isn't going anywhere. I'm still going to be doing TED Excellence every Thursday. I'm hoping to get more guests on. I'm hoping to turn Familiar with the Matter into a regular, at least once a month kind of thing again. So I've got some ideas of what I want to do, but certainly, I just think it's time for a break, and hopefully in this next month, we can do something productive and do some farewells, and hopefully push some people to try some new things out for themselves.
Yeah, I'm still sitting here going, oh my God, it's ending. It's going to end. But for you guys, I mean, I watch a lot of your other stuff. I watch Satsu's cooking stuff. I see your TEDx's all the time. I always have to watch them on replay. And the education ones you've been doing, I really like too. So it's like Scribe's not going away. He's doing his other stuff, but it's a little bit melancholy for me because
it is for me too. Yeah.
And like you said, you guys were doing this every day for a while, and I was just like, the hard part too with your show is I mean, I know in your time zone it's not real late at night, but it's that evening, doing that evening show every night. I wasn't sure how you did it. It's one of those things where it's great for us who listen, but I know it's got to be you're going to free up that evening spot for you now, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
you're doing in the evening.
yeah. Well, I mean, effectively, the show closed out my day because with my work schedule, I have to be up at 4 a.m. So by the time the show was done, I was immediately going to bed. And and I still am very apologetic to this day. The few times that I ended up going on other people's shows right after Lords of the Night, it was obvious that my body was trained to start shutting down because I turned into a complete zombie on other people's shows, and I felt so bad about it. But I just.
Right.
So effectively, my day is closed out with the show, and that's been the deal. So yeah, I'll do my work in the day, have the afternoon to kind of futz around for a bit, and then it's right into the news. What's going on in the day? What's all the terrible stuff going on? What's this, that, and the other? And trying to sort of, assess it in a sarcastic, funny way as much as possible with people that I like talking to, and that always helped.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. And the one thing, at least with your show, you guys would do the news of the day, the bad stuff, but then you'd get the what did you guys?
The fucketry.
Well, the fucketry, and also just the stories that other people would bring.
Yeah, MSS News, yeah.
MSS News.
Yeah, MSS News.
You could just laugh at stuff. Some of the funny things that people brought to you.
Oh, is Monkey here?
Lighten up. Monkey's in the chat. Yes.
Oh, okay. Hey, Monkey. Monkey put out a nice statement earlier today, and Lady Monkey put a comment on the stream from last night, and I'm hoping to have everybody on once or twice before we're out. So he says it took weeks before the feeling of loss I felt leaving the show got better. I have no illusions that there's going to be a hole, so to speak, in my routine and my sense of connectivity. That's one of the things that made me second guess about whether or not now is the time. It's like, I mean, why am I doing this? That's always been a question since I started my YouTube channel. Like, what is the purpose of why I'm doing this? And I've tried to maintain that it's always been a hobby, not a job. I don't want to think of it as work. I want to think of it as something that is fun and or educational, or a way for me to express myself, and not a vocation.
Mm-hmm.
And but at the same time, I can't. Like I say, I don't want to risk it becoming something that I don't look forward to. There was a time I had one period of time in the show where that became the case, and that was when I was doing the custom ads for people. Oh. Now doing the ads themselves was not a terrible thing, and if I was just worried about some financial gain or something, well, then I'd be doing it forever. But that wasn't the point. At a certain point, it became too popular for one guy to handle, because I felt such an obligation to, because I really, really appreciate people who just, if you donate $1, right, $1 just for me talking or trying to entertain or something, I don't take that lightly. I never did. My dad, of all the things that my dad taught me, the value of $1 and value of somebody's labor that went into making that dollar. And so when people would donate for me to write an ad for them, a custom little thing, I took that very seriously. I was like, I don't want to leave any obligations on the table. So I always got those things done by the next time I hosted the show, which was like 2 nights later.
Right.
And when it came down to having 15 plus of those per episode that I was being requested to do, I just got burnt out. And so I started not looking forward to the next show, thinking, oh no, people are going to ask me to do things. They're going to pay for them, and I'm going to have to do it. I can't let them down.
Right.
And at a certain point, trying to come up with 15 original ideas. I mean, yeah, it's like I'm only writing down a paragraph or two, maybe, but it has to be something new, something I haven't done before. I have to meet this person's expectations. I want to entertain them and make it. And that just became overwhelming in between my workday and everything else. And at a certain point, I just said, I got to stop. I just got to cut it off. Not leave the show. I just have to cut this part out. And all of a sudden, I felt so much relief. Like, okay, now I can come back, and I can just have fun and not think about the stress of what I'm going to have to do after the show and then the days following. And so that was a decision I had to make, and wasn't an easy one, but it made things better. And it's not there yet, but I feel that at a certain point in the near future, it might get to there again, and I don't want to risk that. And so I'd rather call it while people still want us to stick around, kind of thing.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine if you have a backlog of 15 or 20 of those ads.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though, and that's part of the reason I came on here is because I still have debts to settle up. You never got to me with what you wanted. You gave me $20. You were like the last guy. You gave me $20 and said a project to be named later. And I have asked you about this once or twice over the last couple of years, but you've never gotten back to me. And so before August 24th, before my conscience can be clear, you have to tell me what it is you want from me so I can leave this show and this institution with no red in my ledger, as they say.
So, okay. So when I donated that $20, I had no plan. And also for me, it was just part of being, it was as a thank you to what you guys do. And I appreciate that I'll make something up before then. But more of a, let's see, PDawg, make him do an ad for himself. Oh, that is an excellent idea.
What now? Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, like I say, this has been hanging over my head for you. I've never forgotten about it. I was like, of all the things.
I hear you. Well, yeah, I'll think of something.
Okay.
We'll do something and yeah, we'll talk.
All right.
Maybe I'll be awake to be I'll make sure that I am now that I said it, I gotta I'm just gonna stay up later now at least at half the show because I feel bad that's going away. But anyway,
yeah, you have all the things, of all the loose threads that are still hanging out there about the show, yours is like the only one that like sticks in my head. Like, okay, this is a debt hanging over my head I have got to clear. So you let me know before August. I'm giving a deadline. Got to be before August 24th, so I can clear this from my my head. Oh God, a positive ad for CR. You know what? I might have a contest on my show to find out what kind of an ad Scribe should. There you go. Do that.
Maybe we'll do that. All right.
Yeah, you and your audience figure out from. Hey, thank you so much for having me on. Congratulations, as always, on your show and all the work you put into it. Everybody who's watching, whether you're an audience member of mine or just PDawgs or whatever, thank you so much for your support of all the creators that you give your time and attention to. Whether you know it or not, it is appreciated more than can probably be articulated at any one time. And looking forward to seeing what you guys do, and looking forward to seeing you guys hopefully on the show once or twice before it all wraps up.
That sounds awesome. Well, thank you, Scribe. And for you, Monkey, SDA, and Satsu, it's, I can't thank you guys enough. And I look forward to this last month and enjoying the show right up to the end.
All right. You guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. All right. I have two more people in line. I'll do them real quick because it's actually time for me to end the show. But I will a positive ad for Chris Alyssa. Oh my gosh. Oh, Monkey, could I be that cruel? That would be cruel, wouldn't it? Scribe, are you listening? Are you watching still? All right, real quick. I'm going to bring in my friend Sydney and say good morning. Hello, Sydney.
Morning.
How are you today?
Day.
Good. So it's Friday, and you're here on Open Mic Friday.
Yep.
Do you have any plans? Oh wait, can you turn down your volume?
Sure.
And you'll be able to hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, I know when you come on, I like to ask you what plans you have for the weekend. What
I don't know.
Nothing?
Nope.
No, you're not going anywhere? You're not going to do anything fun?
Nope.
Oh. Well, you should think of something fun to do.
Okay.
Okay, let me ask you a quick question. What kinds of things do you like to do?
I don't know.
You don't know? Do you like to go to different places?
Yeah.
What kind of places do you like to go to?
Go park.
You like going to the parks?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a good thing. Now, parks. What's your favorite kind of park?
Water park.
Water parks. That sounds really fun. So is that something you could possibly do this weekend?
Yep.
Cool. Anything special that you want to say to people listening?
What are you doing tomorrow?
What am I doing tomorrow? Well, I had a trip to Chicago, but canceled it. So I think I'm just going to hang out in the backyard on the patio and play with my dogs and hang out with Baby Boomer.
I have 2 dogs too.
Oh, you do? What kind of dog do you have?
Chocolate Ram
Okay.
and Hetsy.
Hetsy?
Hetsy.
Hetsy.
Nope.
Am I saying it wrong?
Yeah.
Say it one more time.
Hetsy.
Hetsy? Okay. I may not be using it correctly. Well, I'll tell you what, Sticky, I hope you have a very good weekend.
Okay.
And say hi to your dogs.
Huh?
And say hello to your dogs.
Okay.
Okay.
Say hi your dog too.
I will too. I have 2 dogs. Both of them are mixed dogs with German Shepherds. One German Shepherd Terrier and German Shepherd Rottweiler. So I will say hi to them to you too.
Okay. See you next week.
Yep. We'll see you next week. Bye, Sydney.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. All right, so that was Sydney, our weekly caller. We love Sydney, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, Sydney. Thank you for joining us in the show, and thank you everyone else for joining the show. So I hope everyone also has a very good weekend. I gotta open this up so that I'm gonna close this because thank you for our sponsor today, Baby Vaso. Also, everyone who shared the stream. And if you haven't done that so far, you can still do that before, during, and after the stream. Share it out. It does help the show when you do that. Also, if you hit the like button yet, that is always a good thing to do because, again, anything to help the algorithm is good. That's it for today. As you know, the Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Share the stream, hit the like button. If you want to do donations, there's information in the description down below. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and I'm trying to get back into my studio here. And let's see. Also, as you know, as we just learned today, the Lords of the Night is ending on the 24th of August. So be sure to go watch their show either on Scribe Light's channel or Satsu 2 Senses channel. And I think what I'm going to do, since I have one more ad for Scribe to Write, I'm going to get some help from you and my audience to help decide what kind of an ad we're going to have Scribe write for me. So it can be satirical, funny. I kind of like the positive ad for Chris Eliza, but we might have to add something to that to figure out how to make it even a little more challenging for Scribe. But I like that one, Monkey. That was funny. So anyway, we will definitely do that. So thanks everyone for being here. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the guys from Lords of the Night, because again, that's kind of what inspired me to get started here. So it's a little bit of not just a bit melancholy to hear that news, but I completely understand the challenge of doing a show that many nights a week for such a long time. One of the reasons I chose this particular time slot is because the way it works out in my in my life, and as far as doing it in between 2 jobs where I can do this for a long time, but and not having it disrupt the other part of my life, because I do have family and stuff, and I can't imagine how hard that would be. And it's been so entertaining for so long, and so I look forward to checking out that show over the next month, but also just for continuing to follow the people who inspired me from that show, Ranting Monkey, Satsu, Scribe, and SDA. Although I don't see as much of SDA anymore, but seeing them move on and do other things and expand on what they do and where they're at, it's been fun to learn about them, grow with them, and become friends with them and the people who watch the show. And you like you said, it's a community of people. A lot of you are from that community here. And I appreciate all of you who have followed me from over there and from Hard Bastard and a couple other channels that where you discovered me. And it makes you appreciate those people who inspired you. So anyway, that's it for today. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 1500 GMT. That's it for the show today. My name is PDawgKnight, and I am out of here. Thank you and have a great weekend. And why did I hit the wrong button there? Here we go. Have a good day. Bye-bye.